Happy Halloween. I got my feet in the sand. I got my seashell. Give this to the world for a minute. Ooh, put it out there. I told you guys I was coming. I didn't tell you it'd be this late. And I didn't tell you that we might be under a tornado watch right now. I'm not sure. Cheers. Structured water. So right now I got listening to Smile into the space of all knowing. 211 hertz. The track is 10 minutes and 10 seconds. The Halo, Your Halo is the album. Go check them out. Listening to smile.com. I love him. It's Ian Morris. I put his work into all my music. I put his music into all my work. I love it. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Sarah Richardson. I'm a cheerleader for the divine. I'm a chakra girl. Energy, frequency, vibration, like that's how I like to talk. I'm a vibrational alignment coach. I do body work. Been doing all kind of fun stuff lately. Basically, I tune in, right? I tune in to live. I tune in to trust. I tune in for my faith. I tune in for everything I'm supposed to do. But what I love the most about what I do is I teach people how to fall in love with themselves. But I teach them how to do it themselves. We have a group. We have so much fun, right? And thank you to everybody who, is in my group and who's doing the damn thing to get inside yourself, because it's big, huge work, guys. It's big, huge work. People see me come on here and I'm happy and they think that everything's just like butter, like nothing's really too hard out here. But, sometimes when you're a deliberate creator, it is a little bit hard sometimes, right? It's just hard, different. I love you guys. I love you guys for knowing what I talk about now. Hey, Henry. So in my group, we talk about everything as energy, frequency, vibration. It's like normal stuff that goes on in your life, but how that connects up and links up to your energetic field. And so when I sit down and I talk to the universe or God or, whatever you guys want to call this, and I tune in, that's what I do. That's how I do it. Like through vibration and feeling like where people are at. And so in doing body work and doing coaching work and my own self and my own life, I gather up the energy of the collective, because we're all connected, whether you know it or not. We're all connected in some way. So we're all going through very similar things that are very different at the same time. And so, one of the big things, the big things that are coming up for people right now is like, what is my purpose here? What am I supposed to do here? So, I have people that I talk to that are older. I have people that I talk to that are younger, and the collective energy, it's been really big about purpose. And I know, guys, because I've been deep in that energy of purpose lately too. And so whatever that means for you, sometimes for a lot of people that can look a lot different, right? That's what the energy is doing. So like the energy on the planet is trying to get your attention to get involved with your purpose. And your purpose usually always comes from the desires in your heart. And so where people are like blocked off, they're not even blocked off. Like you're in your purpose. You do your purpose. You lived your purpose. Like when you're in your purpose, you're going to be like, I've been doing this since I've been a little kid. I can't believe this is my purpose. Well, duh, right? But what it is like, your heart is all blocked off because it's been protecting itself and building all these walls. And so what happens is like, you're not connected to your heart's desires. So even though you're doing things that you love, you don't feel like you love them because your heart's blocked off to love, if that makes sense, right? I love you guys. I know my heart's been blocked off to love. I'm not judging anybody. We all have a divine purpose. We all have a divine purpose. Now, to some, they might be like, whoa, like, I don't want to talk about divine purpose. I'm just, regular. I don't want to talk about religion or all of these things. Guys, my relationship with God is not a religion. It is a relationship with God, right? And we are all divine beings, no matter what our mistakes are, no matter what our good is, no matter what good we've given out or what bad we've given out, we're all divine beings. We're all connected to this energy, right? And so, you know, what I've learned in my journey about purpose and getting into my purpose, because right now, guys, I got to tell you, I feel like I feel like I finally know that I'm in my purpose. Like I'm finally like doing, and it's bumpy and it's rocky and you're unsure and all these things, but it's been something that has been like in my heart for like 13 years, and I'm finally taking steps like to really be in it, really do it. But it's like your purpose is like right between what you hate and what you really, really love, right? And so energetically, right? And so like right in the middle of those two things is like the exact thing that you're supposed to be doing, right? And that doesn't make sense to some people, and I get it, right? But it's like, the things that fire you up and like make you really mad, there's a reason why your soul gets churned like that. And things that make you really, really happy and fire you up like that, there's a reason why your soul gets churned like that. But, like I was talking about the blocks in the heart, a lot of times our humans and what our humans have been programmed to think and do and say and be and everything else, we build these blocks up. Our human build these blocks up that like fight our spirit. So like inside of you is like this, like, but you're in your purpose. And so if you're worrying about purpose right now and you're wondering about purpose, I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to stay with me. Comment on here. I am in my purpose. I am living my purpose. Please reveal my purpose. Show me my purpose. I want to know my purpose. I want to see my purpose. Speak it out and then look for signs to come in, and you'll see that you're in it already. You're connected to it some way, or it might be something that you have been given away for a long time, or it might be something that, I just talk to my friends. It's so natural. You know what I mean? Your purpose doesn't have to be what everybody made it sound like. It's a mix of what you hate and what you love. It's right in the middle. I'm telling you, I know that doesn't make sense to anybody. Some people are like, I get it. But some people are like, what does that mean, Sarah? I love you guys, right? So, guys, no one knows your purpose but you. Like, so, I've had a lot of people be messaging me lately about, getting readings from people and reaching out to people, paying for this and paying for that. And it's like, I've done some really great coaching in my life and things like that, and healing in my life. And, I tuned into my intuition and my inner self about where I should go. And I didn't always know I was doing that, but you're always doing that. And, guys, you have to find your purpose in you. And so, a lot of times when you have these other people come in from other places, they put their projections on you. Like when people are coming in and giving you advice, a lot of times, those are their projections on you. And so, you're human, you don't even realize it. You're trying to like keep up with them all of a sudden, whenever, your purpose is solely in you and about you. And, as you love yourself and get connected with your heart, you're really going to feel your purpose as you ground in. So like, that was a big message from the planet, is that, in the root chakra and the sacral chakra, which is your first two chakras, the red and the orange, and Spirit was telling me that everyone's kind of feeling flipped in that space. And it's like, I totally get it. Holy shit. Like, that's how I've been living my last 2 weeks, right? And you don't even realize it sometimes, right? And so it's like, I've been grounding and I've been working on my sacral. I've been eating red and I've been eating orange. I've been wearing red. I've been wearing orange. I've been listening to the root and the sacral vibration a lot. I've really been feeling like I need to be grounded. I caught up on some old paperwork. I did some old, stuff. I cleaned out some closets, and, that's grounding. There's so many different ways to do it, but if you're feeling flipped over in your foundation and how you feel about things, ground your roots into the ground. Just take a couple minutes, breathe in through your nose, ground your roots in the ground. Right now I have my feet in a sandbox, right? I've been taking salt baths with baking soda. I've been listening to the lower hertz of vibrations. Those are your root, right? That 222 I started with, that is a root chakra vibration, right? And so, guys, self-love helps you get into you, inside of you. Your purpose is to realize who you are. Yeah, and it goes so much deeper than that, Henry. So, that's what I've been doing, is like learning to realize who I am, right? But when people come to you and they're really looking for, as a coach and as a body worker, they're looking for like a plan kind of. And I try to explain to everybody that there's no real plan. Like there are tools and all kind of really great people out there now that haven't been there before, right? That are coming out and sharing their voices and sharing their talents. But you really have to tune in, because, just like there's 5 Walmarts on the same block, you have all these people that are doing these things. And so, yeah, your purpose is to realize who you are. But then, your purpose, if you want to know and feel secure that you're going the right way, what I've come to find out through my life and it's a lot of people I've worked with, is like, it really is right in between what you hate and what you love, because those are polar opposites of one another. And so that really means something. If you can drop the humanistic out of it and catch the energy of it, you'll find that in the center, right? In the heart, in the center. I talk in energy. Be still. Yeah, being still is a really great thing. So you guys have seen, I haven't been on in a while. I've been really still. I've been changing a lot of things in my foundation, in my root. And yeah, being still is a really great thing, because like, I was just talking to a great client the other day, and we talked for, maybe 45 minutes about inner peace, and just what a blessing inner peace has been. Inner peace is like worth millions to me. It's like this just calm feeling that I can feel even though the outside world is all ruffled up. They have their path. Yes, that's what I said. Like, all these people that are looking, when I was looking for my path, and then, the things that I do for work are like things I've always done in my life. It doesn't feel like work. So yeah, you're on it. You feel like you have to look for it. But as soon as you look in, you're like, oh, I've been doing this. A lot of us think that our purpose is impossible. How am I going to get paid to have fun? How am I going to get paid to enjoy this? Where that's a lot of the things that I was writing, like, and trying to manifest, like, different things. So I'll tell you all about it. I'm super pumped to talk about this, right? Self-love. I'm always bringing everything back to self-love. Self-love helps you get into you, trust into you, feel into you, trust where you're going. And self-love is way more complex than it sounds. So, I come on here and people get mad when I talk about love yourself. I love you because I love myself. In learning to love myself, there were some really ugly moments, some snotty nose crying, my skin hurts, my bones hurt, headaches, or, crying, or just very sensitive, or, you can feel raw and vulnerable, and you can feel hurt and let down, and you can feel ignored and unloved and unseen and unheard and impossible. And, I know that all these different things come up, right? And so that's what's so magical about root work, right? So, we all have those things. We all have them low lows, right? And, when you get to comparing low lows, no one's low low is worse than the other person's low low, because a low low fucking hurts, man, right? But we all have them. And, what happens is that these shadows in us and the darkness in us, or these low lows in us, go upstairs, baby. Look, my baby's up. What? I will. As soon as I'm done working, give me some sugar. I'm working. I'll come right up. Go ahead. Okay. Hello, guys. My baby wakes up. She can feel the vibes. She loves your vibes, right? So, when you're loving yourself, you have to love all of you. And that's why self-love covers it, because it's like, you have to love you when you're snotty nosed. You have to love you when you're not sure where your bills are going to come from. You have to love you when you make a decision to cut what seems like help out of your life, but something just doesn't feel right. You have to love yourself whenever you're sticking to your guns, even though everybody around you, funny, everyone's like, you're not going trick or treat today while the rain is holding off. No, I'm not going trick or treat. My baby just got done being sick. Are you kidding me? I'm having a Halloween fucking party. I just spent $50. I told you I'm having a Halloween party. But that goes against social norms. And isn't that so stupid? It's a Halloween party, but this is what I mean, guys, right? So people make a big deal about stuff that isn't really a big deal. It's not really a big deal. I don't want my fucking baby to get sick. We just went through it. We just got better. I ain't fucking trying to. I don't need to say anything. We're having a party. If you want to come, come. If you don't. Have fun, right? I gave out candy because we were home. We only had one trick-or-treater. So who was really out? What was everybody really doing? I love you guys, right? But self-love, it's not always as easy as it seems, but sometimes in self-love, you have to learn how to love being still. So Henry wrote about being still, and that's so important. And I didn't used to love to be still. When I would be still, I would think of 5 million things that I could be doing right now to either do my laundry or clean my baseboards. I mean, it goes everywhere. And when I say be still, I mean, like, yeah, I clean my house, but I do things so I have my time to be still. Like, I put my be still time into my plan now where I didn't have it before. Every time I would be still, my mind would just be running. Only love is real, guys. I know that there are a bunch of things kicking up right now. And it's the same thing. It's just like all the shadows of the world with the vibration of the planet lifting. It seems like they're more obvious. It seems like they're more abundant. It seems like they're, more rampant, but they're not. They're just more seen. People are shining light on them. People are talking about them. People are bringing them up. People are letting things out, releasing things, right? And I love that. I'm thankful for that because in doing energy work and working on the nervous system and the patterns that people hold that end up creating disease from the energetic body and pull it into the physical comes from emotions or chemicals. And you need to release those emotions or chemicals from your body. So it comes out through your skin, it comes out through your bones, it comes out through your mouth, it comes out through your eyes. You burp, you fart, you move, you itch, you get itchy skin rash if you take a lot of medicine, you might yell at people, you might cry a lot, you might do a lot of things, but that's healthy. We were taught to keep strong and don't cry and have perfect skin and, all these things with the food and all the products that we have, guys. We have a lot up against us. And so loving yourself when you're not perfect, my whole face just broke out because I got new shampoo and it's too much, right? I have to love myself in that, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Who cares? When I say only love is real, is anybody in here get irritated? Get frustrated? Can you admit it? I love you guys. But if you do get irritated, then that just means that you have these blocks up around your heart. When people talk about love, do you shy away? Do you shy away in your love life? Do you shy away with your heart when it comes to things? I know what that's like. I can give massive love out to the whole entire world, but there are certain areas in my life where I try to like block out the love and block out the feelings. You don't even realize you do that. Your human does that, not your spirit. It's like your human is trying to protect you from a past thing, the shadow stuff that you just tucked down in your sacral chakra, right? It flipped your base upside down. That's what we're talking about. You build these blocks through the things that you've been through or through the things that were passed down from your ancestors and passed down through the generations. You know what I mean? So if you look at yourself and the fears that you have in you, kick up a conversation with your grandma or your grandpa or your mom or your aunts or your, whatever, and kick up a conversation and see if they don't have those same fears. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a common denominator with each other. You're going to understand one another because they do have those same fears because they're generationally passed down. And that's what makes your blocks that much stronger because you have their blocks, their blocks, their blocks, and then your natural blocks, right? But the root is the foundation and the base. And so anytime that I want to clear out my energetic body or restart my energetic body, or, if shit's feeling off and chaotic and wonky in my life, I always go to the root first and then bring it up. I always go to the root, ground in, bring it up. Go to the root, ground in, bring it up. Then I'll do whatever, pour it down on me, whatever you want to do from there. You just want to start at the root. Start at the root. The root is your foundation. You want your foundation to be good. It's like if your foundation is not good, it's going to be like curved like this, right? And so you're trying to build like a house. Well, like that's going to be curvy if you don't get your foundation straight, or at least flip your foundation upside down so the base is better, right? Or something, right? You have to do something with that base to build that foundation. So your root is your foundation, your all of that, your home base, your security, and then your sacral is the I feel, the feelings. And that's what this whole lifted vibration has been doing, is bringing up people's feelings, like, deep feelings, like people that used to be really good at hiding their feelings. Right now they're feeling like not so good at hiding their feelings. They're like, what is this? Like, it just keeps coming up and like spitting up and spitting up. That's because the energy of the planet and the sacral and the root and the sacral, the solar plexus chakra is rising. And so by the planet's energy rising, that all the people's energy are rising too, because we're mirrors and we're vibrationally learning everything. And so, just like we vibrationally learn from our parents or our surroundings, we vibrationally learn from the earth, but you don't realize it because the earth doesn't talk to you. The earth isn't in your family photos. Most of them, you know what I mean? Like your earth wasn't there for your prom. Like it was, but you weren't paying attention to it. So that's what I do in my group. I teach you to learn about your energetic body so you can feel how you're really merged into the energy of the planet. A lot of people think I'm magic. I not at all. God taught me how to tune into my energy, and then I realized that by tuning into my energy, I was tuning into the planet's energy way better. And so, like, I'm only teaching you guys through what I learned, right? And so, you grew up, your first thing was your base, right? And then you grew up and you vibrationally and physically mimic the base that you grew up in. Every single chakra in your energetic system is separate, but very connected. And so if one is affected, then all of them are off, right? And that can feel really defeating. So if one of them is affected, then all of them are off. And they're always moving and always changing. And the focus is always moving and always changing. And none of this is something that the human mind can try to think about or plan it out or figure it out like that. You have to feel in for all of this stuff that I'm talking about. And so some people really get me, and some people are really like, whoa, I was like way far off there. So I'm trying to make it simpler and simpler and simpler. I'm trying the best I can, right? So the root is the I have, right? And so in the I have, it's like I have shadows. And so that's why people are running from this root work. That's why people, I can't tell you how many people I've told for free, ground your roots into the ground. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll do that one day when I have time. No, make time right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Because they're running from their shadows. If you meet somebody that's not grounded, they're running from their shadows. And that's very connected to the sacral chakra, the I feel, right? You're running from your shadows because it feels too heavy. I get it. Some of the shit that gone on out here is nasty. Bless your heart. But there, in being a coach, I've heard so many nasty things that, nothing is worse than not facing your shadows. Nothing is worse than not facing the darkness in you, the places that you're hiding from, the patterns that you keep repeating in your life. And I know that's really tough shit, right? And that's why I want to talk about it. So, you don't feel grounded in. When you're asking someone about your purpose and you're asking around frantically about your purpose and what you should do, I know it happens so easy, even to me too in my life, but if you don't know how anything feels, you're not grounded in. It's simple. If you don't know what you feel, you're not grounded in. Right now, a lot of people are messaging me about really, really big fears around failure in all different aspects, relationships, work, opportunities, all kind of things. And that the big feels of failure are coming from the sacral chakra, right? You feel like you're just drifting through life and you have no real direction. And so, when I say that I'm the best deliberate creator alive, guys, I'm a really humble girl, right? But I really put a lot of work into myself and, spent a lot of time by myself to really try to figure me out. So, and then by learning how to figure me out, it's still even hard to come out with programs and try to talk to you guys about all this stuff, right? But I really do try. So, I say a lot in my coaching, I say a lot to a lot of people, are you drifting? The drifting through life is like the autopilot. It's like, whatever the day brings, I'm just going to take it. See, I don't take my life like that. I wake up in the morning and no matter what happened the night before, I write my thank yous and what I want. And then in the night, I write my thank yous and what I want. And I don't drift through life. I'm in the now moment. I live in the now moment. I ride the wave. I don't get too caught to plans, but I'm not just drifting through life. I'm deliberately trying to create my life. I'm deliberately making steps to take action. I'm deliberately tuning into me to see what do I need in my food, in my relationships, in my whatever is going on. You just want to keep tuning into you, because that drifting through life is that not being attached to your base in your sacral, right? So you want to ground in. A lot of people been talking about different ways that they've been like giving their power away in certain situations, right? And so a lot of the power space is in the sacral. They're telling me that like life is feeling like lopsided. Like they're really super grateful because like over here they have like this mound of things to be grateful for, but like over here this place is like really, really hard. They're feeling like cautious of people or things. A lot of my friends have been feeling like people have been like attacking them and all of these things. And then I've been hearing a lot about like the misuse in the sex space, right? And so all of this is sacral chakra. That's where that comes from. So, those are all very different things, but they all come from the same energetic space. And all it is it's not like this big mess of a catastrophe. It's just like it's flipped. It's not rolling the right way. It's not, energy has a way that it's supposed to roll through your body and keep moving up. And like all it could be is just like this instead of like this. And that's it. It's not really like a big deal, but you have to learn about you to get that energy in your body and in your spine moving good. So you feel connected with the earth and you feel connected with the heavens and you feel connected with the flow of things. It's not that things just automatically don't happen bad in your life anymore. It's just like you kind of ride that wave a little bit better. So are you making wise emotional choices out here? Like when you look at your life, do you feel like you are being run by your emotions, or do you feel like you're using your emotions for the good, right? So that's the thing about the purpose between what you hate and what you love. Like a lot of things that we hate, there's a reason. It's really because we really do love something and we're trying to protect that, right? And so like for me, I always hated men who abuse women, right? And so like as a child, like I've done some mean stuff to men who I've learned abused women. But then in learning that only love is real, mean stuff doesn't hurt that mean guy because he's already been hurt. And so he doesn't even feel any of that, right? And so when you give them love, then that teaches them how to feel in and give love and trust love. It doesn't mean give yourself away. It just, you can stand from afar and give love to the things you hate. But I didn't hate the men. I hated to see the women so disempowered sometimes from these just relationships that weren't energetically healthy. Ever since I was little, I could see it, right? And so in between what I hate and what I love is empowering women and men. You know, there are some men that are in abusive relationships, and empowering that person to love themselves. And so my coaching goes the same for you if you're married or if you're single, because the whole thing is you have to love yourself. And if you're married, your spouse is going to honor you loving yourself, or learn to honor you loving yourself, because that's very important. You know, self-love is very important, because when someone doesn't love self, they can't fully love another. That's huge. You know, and how do you fully love somebody else if your base feels off, if your feelings feel off, if you know, you don't feel like you can do things in life, your heart's blocked, you know, if all these things are blocked off in your life, how, you know, you attract what you think, feel, and say. So then you attract someone that's in that same vibration. And so they have very similar hurts that you have, but maybe they're like the polar opposite, right? And so you guys are coming together in hopes that one person is going to fix the other, but it's your job. You have to go in and you have to fix you. Nobody else out here is going to fix the other. You know, not your mom, not your aunt, not your neighbor, not your baby dad, not your relationship, not your husband, not your cousin. No one's going to fix yourself. You have to fix yourself. And that's why I love my coaching, because I set it out simple as I can, tell them they can do whatever they want with it, and send them on their way. I can't do it for them. They have to do this stuff for them. And some of them get really mad at me sometimes, and some of them really love me for it. And I love you either way, right? So your power is in your emotions. And so if you feel like you're being run by your emotions, if your emotions are running out, I used to have a lot of really heavy emotions, right? And that's something I've really been working hard on for like the past 4 years. And it's not like I don't have any emotions. Really, you know, if I'm going to tell you, I'm way more tuned in to my emotions now than I've ever been in my life. But, you know, in tuning into my emotions, I learned where it was so easy to go through life tuned out of my emotions and not even realize it as a human, right? And hurt a lot of people along the way, and myself, and, you know, different things like that. And so that's why self-love is so important. You got to love yourself when you hurt people. You got to love yourself when you mess up. You got to love yourself when you make mistakes. Because in getting control over my emotions and learning why I had these emotions and learning why these certain things affected me, and looking at that and loving that and pampering that in me, now when different things come up, my emotions don't override that. Like I can actually like think about it, put it all together, instead of like my emotions just taking it and overriding it. Now, it's a journey, guys. So of course, you know, you're going to have new things that come to you all the time, and like, okay, girl, you got your emotions. Let's see how you do with this. I mean, this whole past month has been like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next about my emotions, and like really deep stuff in my foundation and really deep stuff in my feels. And, you know, and I have to say that, you know, it didn't turn out in the most human, fantastic way, but I'm so proud of myself. Like my party today was to celebrate that my emotions didn't overrule me, and that I stayed very centered, that I stayed in my heart space through all the things that I've done in the past month. And I made some big changes in my life, and I feel thankful and I feel grateful. And, you know, I write my goals down and I feel like I'm going towards my goals. And, you know, sometimes it's easy if you get into the fear. Ooh, that throat. I got my lapis on. Somebody must need to talk about something. If you need to say something, you can. Sometimes whenever I was getting into my feels, I would notice me trying to avoid my feelings. But, you know, it takes a lot of guts to hit your feelings right on, to go in and sit with your feelings, to, you know, love yourself and your feelings. I've been doing a lot of inner child work. I've been really being still. I've been really spending a lot of time with myself, really only having conversations with people that the vibration just kind of flows back and forth really nice. I've been spending a lot more time really not talking and really feeling in on me and what I need to do, asking my body, trying to pay attention to the signs. So, guys, there are no mistakes. So I talked about mistakes a little bit ago, and that's what's really huge right now about this retrograde. So, retrograde, they say, I'm not an astrologer. I'll give you my energetic feels on it. That the planet is moving backwards, right? And so for me and us being connected to these planetary systems and everything, like I think when that planet is moving backwards, then that throws off one of your planets inside of you, right? Which therefore affects all the planets. So everything's kind of spinning backwards and feeling kind of weird to your general flow of things. And so what'll happen is cycles come back in, but they come back in from a different way, like from the back end, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, oh shoot, she's over here, you know what I mean? And it's not to hurt your feelings. So, when a cycle comes up in the spiral of life and your things come in, a lot of people think that's to hurt your feelings, but it's like to see if you're going to make a better choice, to see if you're going to love you better, to see if you're going to, do it better in that time. And so, for retrograde, I love to be still in a retrograde. I don't make any kind of, it is funny because my body just naturally kind of just like folds back during a retrograde. I actually have more energy this retrograde than I do most other retrogrades. But I promised myself when I heard it coming up that I was going to make this retrograde like the best, how I fell in love with Mondays, right? And so that was a big thing for me. A lot of people are feeling a deep need to protect themselves. And I was talking about this earlier, and, they hit me with it a lot. Like, oh, Sarah, you're a single mom, and, blah, 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 and protect yourself, and the work that you do, and the people that you talk to, and the people that you meet online, and all that stuff. In tuning into myself and falling in love with myself, I really do have full faith that I am protected by the divine, that I'm protected by the all that is, that as I do these weird things that my spirit is pushing me to do, that I'm fully protected. And it's like, in human sense, a lot of times your divine purpose doesn't make any sense, but in the feelings and the connection in the relationship that you have with spirit, the universe, God, whatever you want to call this, you will feel this deep, yes, keep doing what you're doing. That's it. You are protected, and so if you're feeling like you're not protected or that, things are going on, guys, where's your faith? Drop into your heart. Go back into your heart. Only love is real. Go back into your heart and feel why you don't feel protected, because a lot of that not feeling protected is coming from the base, the root. Ground your roots into the ground. Look at me. I have palo dust on my nose. But if you don't feel safe, you got to ground in. You got to ground in and feel how connected you are to everything in this world, because you really are safe, and it's only you just creating this in your mind. I know I've done it. I've made myself, I put myself in bad situations by things I think. And I brought myself out of really crazy situations by the things I think. So that's how I know. Let me put out another song. Not all these work. I got a new computer. I need a computer person. This is the 528. 528 is my fave. Solar Plex. So, guys, all of the answers are in love. What do you love? Do you love how you feel? Do you love when you're around that person? Do you love what's going on? Many people are turning their back to emotions. I've seen it in my personal circle, in my personal self, in my personal clients, in my friends. A lot of my friends are therapists and body workers and stuff like that, and they're seeing it in people. And so like a lot of times, you know, when we'll do massages and stuff, you'll be massaging someone and like out of nowhere they'll start crying and they're like, you know, I don't even know what's going on, I'm crying. Well, touch and energy and all of that will help to bring that up and bring that out. And so like, you know, when you're bringing stuff up and you're bringing stuff out, you want to be in a safe place. You want to feel safe. You want to feel sturdy and secure, you know? And I always tell people, like, when you're facing your shadows and when you're grounding in and you're feeling this stuff, you know, if it ever feels too hard, go into your heart and drop gold light all over you. Because when you go into your heart and you drop that gold light all over you, you literally feel protected from the whatever it is that you call it, right? You can't stay safe from feeling. You know, you can't just not feel and skirt through life anymore. Like it's not gonna let it happen anymore, guys. And so if you're having a hard time feeling, then you could feel real bumpy in life. And I love you. And I know what it's like to feel bumpy. And that's why I do these weird ass videos about the root chakra and grounding in and trying to break this energy down to you about these things. And like, I have to bring up things that a lot of people don't want to bring up. They'll message it in a private messenger, but they won't bring it up in real life. And they'll look like on their Facebook pages that they have it all together, but really inside they're feeling like, And I want to help you guys. And I want to let you know that it literally is all in you. It's all in you. And that's so funny because this is wherever you are. Right I am. Evan Lampkin, I love him, right? But, you know, it's in you. Everything is in you. Like, you're running away from your own self. You're running away, like, you're making it seem like you're like this bad villain, and you're not. You're a loving being, and like everything you went through, like, had a meaning. But, you know, by the universe trying to get you to feel is just trying to get you to let that out, whatever happened, and learn to forgive them and forgive you for you to feel lighter. You gotta take action with love. So you guys know, I did my video. My last video was pretty crazy, and I was pretty angry in it, right? And after it, I was kind of like, I'm gonna keep it up because it's good, right? But I know that I have to put more love in it, and so that's what I've been doing for the past month, is putting a lot more love in the places that are hard for me to put love, you know, and that's what I mean. Your purpose is between what you hate and what you love. Like, you guys know, you went through it with me. I just went through something that I really hated, but there's a lot of things out here I really love. You know, I love the vibrations. I love my foundation. I love my family. I love, you know, I used to not be connected to any kind of energy, frequency, anything, people. I used to do this all by myself. Hi, Carl. But now I have all kind of friends, and we talk energy, frequency, vibration all the time. And if something's off over here, they know exactly what I mean when I have to go over there. And so I feel really thankful. And so, you know, guys, if whatever is going on in your life that might be really hard, I want you to think about it, and the action that you take it in love, and really tune into your heart first before you react. Tune into your heart before you make that choice. Tune into your heart before you decide, you know, because your heart is going to give you like these signals, like yes or no, you know what I mean? Like for yes, give me one beat, you know, it's like the pendulum for a lot of people. I tune into my body. I've always been a feeler. Let your heart guide you to things. And so, happy Halloween, love. I got my Halloween shirt on. We had a Halloween party today. It was so fun, Elaine. We had so much fun. You know, I know what it's like to feel blocked, and I know, it's not a good feeling, you know, and then you're blocked, and you're raising your kids, and you're working, and you kind of feel like you're just banging into things. And so be still, take a moment for you, you know. I don't know, you know, my big thing is like, turn off the TV. You know, a lot of people can't get into themselves because they got these damn TVs running behind them all the time, and all this you know, I'm a feeler, I'm a vibrational person. So, you know, if I have two different devices running at the same time, like, one of them has to turn off. Like, I can't, because when you're so tuned into yourself, like, you know, sometimes a lot of frequencies will get you. I don't really I can have pots and pans and drums and kids screaming and all kinds of stuff, but two devices at the same time will have me ready to explode. You know, had a lot of people, probably about 5 people, not a lot, say that they felt like they were settling for second best, like in their life. Like, you know, they're going out, they're working their purpose, but they're like, they're working this one thing and they think that there's like this ultimate thing to get to, right? And it's like, I have to tell them all the time, like, you have to live right now. Like, you know, if I kept wishing that I had her car or her boyfriend or her hair or her whatever, you know, just that simple thought like that could make me question everything that I'm doing. Like, does that make sense, guys? You have to fall in love with yourself where you are. What, you know, there's no best job, you know, in being a mom. I have to work different than I have ever had to in my life. And it's like, you know, sometimes I can feel real defeated because I was on a schedule, but then, you know, now I live in this place where it's like, I don't know, there really is no time. Like, I try to be on time for all the stuff my baby has to do, but, you know, when it comes to my business, I run it different than mostly anybody in their lives. I'm just like floating through. I mean, I prioritize things, but I don't get so rigid and stuck, you know. I remember when I first started going to see my wizard, I was about to be late for an appointment. I called. He's like, Sarah, if you're ever just like running late, just come in and lay on the table. Like, I don't care. And at the time that really was like stuck out to me and I wasn't sure. But like now after the years have been, I can't really stick to a schedule. Schedules kind of make me nervous. I like to just flow and go. I know you need one sometimes. You know, I try to tune into universal love when I'm off or when I'm on. And so what I find with a lot of people that I talk to is that on their good days, they're really good at tuning into the universal love, the love vibration, the love frequency, the self-love, all that stuff. But then when they have a bad day or they roll in the doo-doo, that's whenever the universal love part falls off. So, you know, give thanks for your bad days. Give thanks for the things that go wrong. Give thanks, you know, you have to figure out these patterns in you. So in your root is where your values are, right? So the deep values. And so a lot of the values that you have or have had are old, like programmed values. Like you learned them vibrationally. Like even, you know, I always thought sex was a sin, even though my parents never talked about that. That's just the way I saw it. And so, you know, even into my 30s, having sex to me was a sin. That was rooted in my program values. And so, you know, one of the things to get into your root is like, ask yourself, like, what do I value in this life? Like, do you value your time? Do you value your time with people that you love? Do you value your house? You know, what kind of things do you value in your life? Look at that. You know, what are your ambitions in life? Like, you know, I'm a coach, but I can't call these people every single day for 30 days, all the people, and be like, hey, yo, what's up? Wake up, get up. No, you have to have ambitions that you have in you that get you up, that get, you know, I get excited to write my journal. So at 5:30 in the morning when I wake up and I go to write in my journal, you know, I'm excited about doing that. So I wake up and even if I'm groggy or a little bit tired, I get up and write my journal. I like to talk creator stuff. You know what I mean? Can you see what you create in your life? I talk creator. What do you create in your life? You know, because you're creating from your energetic system and the things that you've freed and the things that you have. What are you creating? We really need to let people off the hook for the past pains that we hold inside of ourselves. And it's like, I know that you just want to feel justified in that. And like I told you, I love you for everything that you've been through because I have been through a lot and I've met a lot of people that have been through a lot. But, you know, those things that you're holding on to, those resentments, they're only hurting you. They're suffocating you. They're pinching you off from abundant love, right? And so if you don't know how to do that, ask your angels to help you. please help me to let people off the hook for past pains. You know, God, source, creator, universe, whatever. You don't have to say things a certain way. You can make it as simple as you, like literally you can say, hey, angels, can you come down and help me let people off the hook for the things that they hurt me about? Just like that, right? And so real stuff does happen out here in life. So much, you know, and you're right, you know, in the ways that you've been wronged in your life, you're right. They were wrong. You're right. They were wrong. They hurt you. They got over on you. They lied to you. They manipulated you, right? But the more that you're able to grow away from that thing and go away from that thing, the more that you're able to fix that foundation and build different without that in it. And so that's why I say all the time to go back to the root anytime you fall off. You know, like all this stuff just happened with my work and everything fell off. And so I had to go back to my root. Every time I got to go back to my root. Hi, beautiful. How are you? There's so many ways to get to your root. Your body knows and pushes you to your root. Your human is in there fighting your spirit. Like, you know, your spirit knows what to do and it's like cueing your human to do these things, but then your human's like, that doesn't make sense. That's too easy. That's too simple. I have to work harder to do this. I can't just let go of my stuff. I'm not really whole. I got to do all these things. I got to get all these certificates. I got to spend all this time. I got to do all this stuff. No, just, you know, really, just learn about your energetic body. Learn how, you know, because your energetic body is connected to everything. You have to love all of you. I'm doing good, girl. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween. I'm doing good, girl. I'm giving a message on self-love, grounding, root work, right? You know, spirit let me know today that a lot of people are feeling really off in the root and the solar. And I know, and I'm trying to make it as simple as I can, right? And chakra energetic terms by letting people know that they need to ground in. If they don't know how to ground in, if they don't know how to face their shadow selves, ask spirit to come help them. It's the heart. The heart is the anchor. The heart, right? So go inside your heart and research the things that come up in your heart. Feel inside your heart. You know, maybe at first you won't share it with anybody. Maybe you'll just write it in a journal. Maybe you'll just share it with somebody crazy like me, right? But I want you to take time and go into your heart. Go into your heart. Go into your heart. Feel into your heart. Your heart has all the answers. So if you're paying for readings and you're paying for all these things, you know, I hope you're paying for people that are showing you how to get into your heart. Go into your heart. You know, you got to keep an open mind when you go into your heart because not everything in your heart is logical. Both truth and criticism come from love. And so, you know, a lot of times in my coaching, I can't be all like, oh yeah, you're super great. Woo. I'm a cheerleader for the divine, but sometimes I have to cheerlead for the truth. Happy Halloween. Absolutely. Allowing the anchoring, the anchoring, the anchoring, the anchoring. I love you, girl. You know, the heart helps you to uphold your integrity, you know, and a lot of people, like I just was talking to this girl that I just randomly met and she's like telling me about, you know, she was in this relationship for like 7 or 8 years and just all of the love that she wasted in those times. And I said to her, I hugged her like really big and I was like, I don't really see that as you wasted any time. Like, I think that in those 8 years, you really probably learned a lot of stuff. And love is never wasted. And love is abundant, you know. And she sat there for a little bit. At first, she was a little bit pissed off at me, right? Of course, like, when you say the truth, people don't really like it. But, you know, you don't waste your time. You don't waste your time. You know, I spent a lot of time single. I spent a lot of time in dumb relationships. I spent a lot of time focusing on myself. Like, none of the love was a waste of time. Did everybody give the love back that I gave out? No. But it all got me here where I am today. It all brought me to the person that I am today. It all helped me to understand that hurt people hurt people. So why, you know, if you try to hurt people that are hurt, they don't even feel it because they don't feel. They're hurt. They don't feel. You see what I'm saying? do you have to fix that or do anything about it? No, you don't. You can just walk away from it. You don't even have to give a fuck about it. You can just walk away from something that's hurting. But if your heart feels pulled in some way to help them, then that's your spirit trying to tell you something, right? So there's been a lot of people that are hurt that I do help, and there's been a lot of people that are hurt that I don't help. And it's inside my heart that I figure out what I'm supposed to do. Allowing manifestations is one of the hardest parts. So like, you think this thing, you put it in, you put it into play, you plant the seed, right? And then it comes. And then if you don't know how to feel, if you don't have your base grounded in, and you don't know how to feel, you really don't know how to receive the manifestation that is really like right there for you. Like you don't even see it. Like you might even be feeling like God never sees me or something crazy. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm not laughing. But it's not impossible. Manifesting your life is not impossible. Deliberately creating your life is not impossible. But where you feel impossible about it is where you're blocked off in your own self, where you need to figure out what you need to do to heal that, what you need to do to fix that. Not everybody's for everybody, but there's something out there for everybody. Do you think that your dreams are impractical? When you sit there with your heart and you dream, do you think that that's like impractical? Like, I shouldn't even dream that. That's like way too far out of my scope. I grew up here and, my ancestors did this and I can never be that, because that's what the inner battle is, right? And so it's like, you're star. You're big time. You're divine. You were here to have all your heart's desires, but somehow our human minds have got us to this place where we have to like conform. We went through this vibrational learning where it was like, follow the masses, don't be original, don't be creative, that shit's weird, you never know what's gonna happen. That's the fun part to me. But until you start clearing out that's not fun, that's like scary, so when you haven't cleared out any of your chakras, you quit your job and you decide you're gonna read cards or something, of course you're scared because you didn't go inside yourself. I'm not saying don't have your job and don't do these things, but you want to go in and learn like what your heart's desires is, not just read cards because that girl reads cards and she makes a lot of money. She loves what she does, and that's why she makes a lot of money in her purpose. Have an amazing, gorgeous dream. Lots of, oh, I love you, girl. Yeah, there's all kind of good stuff coming. So by resisting the patterns that are coming up in your life, by ignoring them, by not feeling them, you keep bringing that cycle back too. So, if you've been resisting a pattern in your life, it's retrograde. So it's going to come in from the back. And I love you. And it's happening to all of us. And don't you let anybody tell you that it doesn't happen. It's just the more you learn how to love yourself. Oh, it's 12:12. The more you learn how to love yourself, the more that when that thing comes in, you're like, oh, you sneaky little pesky shit. I guess I got to face you now, right? Your cycle will get the lesson. Like your whatever cycle, you're gonna get the lesson. You can't miss your lesson out here. Like if you're out here and you're avoiding yourself and you're hiding from yourself and you're blocking everybody out and you're afraid of everything and you're afraid of failure and all, like you still are going to get your lesson. Like, people think that because they go through lessons like God doesn't love them or something. No, that's like pushing you to be your best self, like pushing you to clear this out, pushing you to understand this. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, sweetie. What's revealed when you go through these cycles and these patterns and these lessons is what the things that are revealed, they want to be healed and they can be healed, right? And so a lot of time, the big bad healing is all about feeling it, right? And so when this lesson, you don't have to look for your lessons. When this lesson comes up and it plops down in your living room and it plops down on your desk and it plops down in your face and it comes in through your phone and it comes in through somebody that you love, that's your lesson. and it wants to be healed. And so that's why it's coming up. And all you have to do is just go in there and be like, oh my gosh, listen, I didn't even see that you felt lonely. And I love you and I see you. And I'm going to pay more attention to that. And I'm going to get that back on track, right? Go into yourself. Drop into your heart when bad things happen, when you feel chaotic, when you feel like the feathers are ruffled, drop into your heart. There's a lot of false beliefs that we've had to keep our hearts protected and safe from the things that we've went through. And so, you do all this work, self-work, you clear yourself out, and you stayed away from that thing, right? For a long time, and you just did other things, and that's very possible. And then all of a sudden, this retrograde comes, right? And it comes up from the back. Hey, it's here. I'm here. Hey, right? And you're like, what the fuck? It just wants to be felt. It wants to be healed. Drop into your heart. Know that, your heart has had a lot of false beliefs around love because it was protecting itself from being hurt. You're protected. You don't have to protect yourself. You don't have to be worried about it. Guys, we create with the visions in our third eye. And so it's like, in your third eye, like God puts this like picture, right? Of like what you can be in your life, what you can have with your heart's desires, right? And it's not all written out in a step-by-step, right? But then what we need to do here is what the vision that we get in our third eye, we need to feel that vision in our hearts, right? And so by thinking it and feeling it in your heart, that amplifies what God's trying to do for your life. Then you speak it, right? And so boom, boom, boom. It's like the Trinity, right? And so it's like, this is how you manifest the things in your life, right? And so, of course, if your heart's blocked off, you're not manifesting, like you are like kind of manifesting what you want, but then there's like just something that's off, like just a little bit that you're trying to protect, that just a little bit that that's coming back up in your pattern. Retrograde's going to bring that back up here. I'm telling you. So a lot of us are seeing the vision in our mind and then feeling in our hearts how much it hurt last time we loved, last time we did that, last time we tried that, last time we opened up. And then they're speaking that out of their mouths. Fuck him, fuck her. Last time I did that, I got beat. Last time I did that, this and this happened. It's a natural thing, but you keep creating that same pattern by the words that you speak. Like, your voice is literally like bridge from the 5D to the 3D, from the spiritual to the physical. Your voice brings things from the spiritual to your physical. That's what really happens, right? And so I get it. We've all been hurt, but if we keep talking about it and saying about it, we're going to keep. So why not instead talk about love? Oh, happy November, guys. That's so special. We get to bring in November 1st together. I love you guys. Where am I at? So look, how funny. Henry said at the beginning of my video, be still. And Spirit said to me when I was channeling, if you want to know what Spirit's saying to you, or your angels, or your spirit guides, or, whatever, you gotta be still. If you're running around fast, they can't catch you. They can't catch your attention. They don't overexert themselves. Like, you have to just ask and be ready for them. Meditate. You can do mind work. You can do body work. You can rest up. Definitely ground in. If you don't feel connected to God, if you don't feel that connection up here, the direct relationship is the sacral chakra. And so that's exactly what I've been saying this whole video is like the root and the sacral are feeling flipped right now, right? And so you're not feeling, relationships happen within the energetic system. And so that relationship isn't on point. And so you might be getting headaches, you might be lightheaded, you might be going through all kinds of things because the sacral chakra is off. Not because of up here. It's, you never really know how energy turns, but a lot of times if those things are happening up here, then down in the sacral chakra is where you need to balance that out. Down in the sacral chakra is where you need to work it out. So like a lot of people that are on those like need to know things, they learn about their third eye and they are just so hell bent on getting in there and they keep adding, not realizing that it's in a relationship and you have to balance. You anchor it at your heart. The energetic body is like weird but simple, complicated but simple. I don't know. You need to root into the ground and bring it all the way up to the divine. That's how you are a channel, for everything in your life. And so, a lot of us are trying to live from our human and the house and the car and the picket fence and the marriage and the friends and the groups and the clubs and the clothes and all that stuff. But when you start to get to know your energetic body and how your energetic body is connected to the planet, all of those things really you don't care about anymore. It just happens really fast. So, like I said, we build bridges by the words and the feels in our heart, right? And so, you're creating your life. So either you're creating your life on autopilot or you're creating your life deliberately, right? And so all you have to do is just sit there, be still, and just look back and reflect on your life. What are you creating in your life? Do you like your job? Do you spend enough time with your family? Do you spend enough time resting? Do you spend enough time on self-care? Being still, being quiet, blocking out all the commotion. Do you rest? Do you fuel well your body? You gotta tune into your heart about all matters. It's like sometimes your human's like, oh, you're good. Don't eat lunch. Just keep working. We gotta make this money. It's almost Christmas time. But then your heart's like, girl, you better eat. You're about to pass out. Your heart will tell you some stuff like that, for real. I mean, only love is real, and people love to eat good food. It's like your heart is like the council chamber in you. So it's like, I feel like that's like where your whole team meets up, like in you, for you. You know what I mean? Like that's where everybody is like cheering you on, and like we're all connected by love, right? That's why the love frequency I love so much, because I just, when I turn it on, I feel just so connected to the all, the everything. Everything really is everything. Circumstances outside of you are outside of your control. Let go. I used to be so worried about everybody and so worried about this and so worried about that. I can't. The more I learned to love myself, the more I just knew I couldn't. And it's certain things and it takes time, and this is a journey. It's not like you go ground in and then you're just connected. It's something you have to learn about. You have to keep doing, Every time you ground in, you learn something new. You feel something different. So, we all have circumstances, and some of it frustrates us and some of it makes us mindful. But, are you out here like pretending that you never get what you want? Because if you're out here pretending that you never get what you want, then you're not deliberately creating your life. You're not learning about your body. You're not learning about your patterns. You're not visiting your shadow. You're not seeing what's going on with you. And most of the time, those are the people that are really worried about everybody else. I mean, it's just real. So, just because you were turned down from something, that doesn't mean that it wasn't for you. Like, maybe you have to go a different avenue. Like, maybe you really didn't have a full desire with it in your heart. A lot of times to me, we'll talk about procrastination a lot. That comes up a lot. And procrastination is not what people think it is. When I hear procrastination or see procrastination, to me, that is a blocked up heart. Procrastination is a blocked up heart resistant. It's like, it's not feeling to me. I don't know how to explain the energy that I feel, right? So procrastination isn't just like, oh, that lazy bastard. Procrastination is like a nervousness. It's like an anxiety. It's like, don't feel like it. Quit trying to know everything. Quit trying to know everything. When you feel in, you just know. That's where the wisdom is. Like, when you try to make sense of it with your human, that's when you get lost. It's when you get frustrated. Like, yeah, you need to make a little bit of a sense with it. I get it, to get through, but be okay with not knowing everything. Ask your angels to help you to be okay without knowing everything. Ask to learn about your spirit guides. Ask to learn about the guidance system within you, your heart's desires, how to tap into your heart's desires. What does that even mean? What would that do for anybody else? You know, a lot of people that aren't connected to their heart desires are people that really want to be out here helping people, but yet they feel run down. They feel used. They feel like they can't trust anybody, you know, but they have these helping spirits that they just want to help so bad, and they don't know how to trust. Ask. How do I trust? How do I fix this? How do I, you know, and pay attention to things that run into you. Allow yourself to rest and be still. Inner child work. I talked about inner child work a lot in the past few months. Inner child work is huge. I've been making some meditations on it. My way probably won't work for everybody. You know, you have to look around for you, feel into your spirit. I was really blocked off from inner child work, fearful. I was fearful to do it. And so I think that's why it wasn't working for a long time, because of my resistance. So like, I would sign up for something and I would go do it, but I would have that, my heart was really blocked off to inner child work. I was really afraid. And so I want to tell you guys, you know, don't be afraid, because when you're meditating, that's like the safest place ever. You know, when you're meditating and you're bringing God and your angels and your ancestors and everything all around you, you're in the safest, like, healing bubble cocoon that you could ever be in. So please think about that. Celebrate your heart. Celebrate the love in your heart. Celebrate whenever you get a win. You know, I know a lot of people don't support a lot of people's wins, but the more that you get comfortable celebrating your wins, the more you meet people around you that like to celebrate your wins. Like, I wasn't always around people who celebrated wins, right? And now I have a lot of friends, and I also, you know, it's an even exchange. We celebrate wins, even if they're little wins. Like, yo, I got this super great coffee. Oh, yes. You know what I mean? You know, I decided that I was going to not trick or treat and have a party. And they'll be like, yeah, you know, celebrate yourself. Take time for yourself, you know. Today, like I said to you, was my Halloween dance party / celebration for myself and getting through this last month. Like, and it's so crazy because I say getting through this last month, and it's like, I'm over here manifesting things. I'm getting ready to go to my second retreat this weekend. I'm manifesting things that my heart always desired. But yet, at the same time that I have a retreat at the beginning of October and a retreat at the beginning of November, the universe just kicked up all kind of shit in my face. And, you know, here I thought I was going to be like, woo, yeah, manifesting. You know, the universe was like, lesson. Did you get that, girl? You know, there was a time in the month where I wasn't really sure if I could, like, mentally go to this retreat or physically go to this retreat. And then, like, I was talking to the girl, Kelly Espino, yesterday, and all of a sudden it was like, I talked to my sister and just all like smoothed out. It like went the right way. And I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you. Celebrate that. Love stories are big, you know, tell love stories, tell your love stories, write your love stories. Then you'll meet friends that tell love stories. Listen to people's love stories. When you see love and love stories, get involved in that. Let your heart feel that. You know, love teaches you how to do it. Love shows you how to do it. Love brings these things to you. If you, I think I said to the universe maybe like 8 or 9 years ago, teach me how to love. I don't really know how. I know how to make money. I know how to make friends. I know how to talk. Teach me how to love, because I really don't know how to do that. And sure enough, love taught me how to love. And it was a process, and it still is a process every single day. Communicate with those that you love, right? And so if somebody comes into your mind and it's somebody that you love, you know, You don't have to reach out on the phone. You can just say, hey, man, I love you. Send them some pink light. Or you can reach out on the phone. Whatever you have to do, go visit them. Your balance is in your heart, right? And so if anything's off, you always want to go to your heart and find balance. Find new things you love. Ask your angels, like, help me find new things that I love. Help me explore and see what my heart's desires is. What do I really love? See that even in the hurt is love. You know, I always say the doo-doo. Even when you're in the doo-doo, that's still love. See that. Music turned off. Everything then went down. Here we go. We're back. Even when you're confused, that's love. The down and the up, that's love. You know, all of it is love. Everybody thinks that love's supposed to, you know, come in and protect you and keep you safe and make you feel good and make you feel everything. You know, guys, I'm out here sometimes giving the rawest truth in the name of love. You know, and it's like, if something's off or you're hiding from yourself and you bring it to me and Spirit lets me feel the truth, I'm supposed to share that. And a lot of people don't like that, but that's love though. There are no mistakes. This love that I speak of all the time is a spinoff of self-love. So the more that you learn to love yourself, the more you're going to get this universal love frequency that I talk about. It's in you, for you, with you, everything, right? It has nothing to do with anyone else. You know, love, self-love, the love frequency, it doesn't have to do with a partner, your family, or it's you. It's you and you. But sharing it with others helps to multiply it. So yeah, you can keep your little love bubble quiet for a long time, but then if you can quietly learn how to share different ways, you're going to keep multiplying that love all around. At the gas station, in your community, with your kids, with your work, with your Facebook, like everybody can feel internal vibration. So the more that you love yourself, the more your spirit kind of like shines a certain way. And the more that they start to love you, the more you start to meet people that connect, that have the same kind of passions. Think of your accomplishments that you've made in your life. So if you're ever in the doo-doo, if you're ever feeling bad, off in your root, off in your base, think of the accomplishments that you've made so far in your life, right? From the little ones to the big ones. Always think up. It's a journey, guys. There are always going to be new challenges that are going to come up. And so things are and will bloom in your life if you let it happen. So it's funny because Spirit said that to me. Things are and will bloom in your life if you let it happen. And bloom. That really stuck out to me because I like make up meditations for myself, right? But I do this heart chakra meditation because, like I said, I was blocked off to love, right? And it was really hard for me at first. And at first I just used to use the color green and go into that and, you know, turn on the heart vibration and go into the color green. And, you know, sometimes the green would be really dark and then sometimes the green would be really green. And I would try to bring it to this like emerald color, like through my breath work. You can do whatever you want, right? And then all of a sudden, like the stronger my heart started to get, it was like this, like grass, you know, like, and then like trees and earth and blooms, and there were blooms and blooms everywhere. And so it was cool that Spirit used that with me. I just want to share that with you guys. And because it's cool, you know, and it's like, you need to allow your heart to be open. And so one of the ways that you know if an area is closed off in you is like by closing your eyes and being able to go into that space. You know what I mean? Like me and my friends talk and they'll be feeling some kind of way and like they know me already. They're like, all right, you know, I did this meditation, I tuned in, and this is what I'm feeling like. And it's sometimes just by feeling like talking about the opposite, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, you know? And I just like trick their mind a little bit. That's how my work is though, so it's easy for me. How good will you allow your life to be? Because that's what I run into. You know, it's not life that's holding you back. It's you. It's me. It's us that don't feel like we can do things in our life. It's an inside job. it's fun to walk around with like this anticipation of your heart's desires. It's fun to get yourself excited. It's fun to be your motivation. It's fun to love yourself. It's fun that when somebody comes from an outside source and tries to get you off track, that you're sturdy. It's fun to love yourself. All people reap what they sow. Choose the truth. I was always the truth. The truth might make a lot of people not like you sometimes, but it always falls back into love. It always comes back to a good place. Always choose the truth. Reclaim your power by letting go. Trust the universe got you and speak it. So if you don't trust the universe got you, speak it. Speak your love. Speak it out. Take honest inventory of your life. Acknowledge your success and defeats. Because the success is the light. The defeats is the doo-doo. The stuff you guys don't want to look at. You want to take inventory of your life. You don't want to avoid your life. You want to be mindful of yourself. The most important thing that you could give back to your kids or the planet or anything is to be mindful of self. And by being mindful of self, you vibrationally teach others around you to be mindful of their selves. What are your intentions for the things you have in your life? Because if you have ill intentions, then that thing's going to fall ill. None of us out here are owed anything. It's work to get into yourself, to fall in love with yourself, we're not like owed loving ourselves. We have free will if we want to or not, right? And so a lot of people, at first will think that my coaching is like, I owe them to make them do this. I don't. We're not owed anything in this life. I work really hard for mine, and yeah, I help whenever I can, but you can't do everything. I can't put somebody inside their heart, inside themselves, and make them meditate and take time for themselves and love themselves and be still when they need to. We get what we say we desire, right? And so I have a lot of people walking around like, I don't want no man, I don't want no girl, I don't want no wife, it's just a headache. But like in their heart, they really want a wife and they really want a girl and they really want all this stuff or a man or whatever. But the things they're speaking are going against that. That's the war. That's the war inside you. So, if you feel embarrassed to like say that you want that, say it in private, but don't say the opposite out loud. Make a project to speak self-love, to speak love for 30 days straight. If you catch yourself saying some shit, cut yourself off. Nothing can pull you away from your intention unless you let it pull you away from your intention. You have a unique perspective. One of the things that I really loved is how do you show your artistic beauty? That's really been a big thing in me in self-love. The more I love myself, the more I learn that I am artistic in my own way, right? You have to, one of the biggest things, people say, forgive them. I say forgive you. Because without forgiving you first, it can be really hard to forgive somebody else. Like, it's really hard to forgive you. But once you do that and you feel what that feels like, then it's kind of really easy to let up and forgive other people. And some people are harder than others, but, that's the shadow, and that's how deep the programs run, and that's how deep the roots run in these things that we carry with us. And so, sometimes you have to take that shadow and follow it all the way down the root and feel it all the way down to release it. All you're doing is feeling it to release it. You're not feeling it to hold on to it any longer for 5 more years or whatever. You're feeling it just to release it. Give it love and release it. I love you. I let you go. New things are coming, guys, to reawaken the desires. And, that's the retrograde. The retrograde's coming up behind you. And things are coming in because it wants to reawaken your desires. It wants you to get back into living from your heart. It's never too late. You're never too old. Get back into your heart, right? You can do this. You can do this for sure. Feel into that intuition. They say in quantum physics that the intuition, the third eye, is like the ruler over all of your chakra system, right? So if you can think and see yourself sick and broken and dead, so, if you're hurting and you can see and think and yourself healed, then that will happen. That's what happened to me. Pure desire feels really good because like when you're in pure desire. It's not like this expectation, and things can go a million different ways, but like you're gonna like eventually arrive at the desire from your heart, and that's amazing, and that's what feels like the magic. So write your desires, meditate on your desires, you know, put pictures up of your desires. I do vision boards all the time. Like, talk about your desires, call your friends, have desire buddies, or you just talk about your desires. Keep your heart open. It's beautiful to keep your heart open. I know a lot of us are afraid. Don't be afraid anymore. Like, please, if you see this video, make it a point to go into your heart, find out your desires, and expand the capacity to receive the love that's out here that's trying to get into you. Be open to your heart's desires, because what happens a lot of times is, you know, we do think about our heart's desires. We do play them and run them through our mind. They're in your heart, right? And you block them out. And so by blocking it out, you're just like blocking out receiving it. It's like, it's right there. When things come up, they're right there. Like, do you feel excited? Do you feel excited? Because, you know, your heart's desires are the things that get you excited. It's like a soul excitement too. It's not a human excitement like, oh yeah, we're going to go get a boat and get drunk. I have to cover my sandbox because my cat he tried to pee in my sandbox. So now I cover it with a dry erase board. Because, I mean, yeah, you might like going to get drunk with the homies, but that's not a heart desire, because that really like hurts your body, and your heart's probably like, ugh, please don't do this anymore. Please find better habits. Your heart's desires, you know, when I first started doing energy work, you know, even though nobody knew what I was doing or whatever, like I'd be so fueled up to go work on someone or go to take a class or learn something new and try it on my family and, you know, talk to somebody stranger about it in the barbershop. Those are heart's desires. They're like these really weird things that you think might be impossible, but they're not. They're not. You just got to go into your heart and keep open in your heart. You know, it's like an onion in there. So you might think that you got through a lot of stuff, and I'm sure you did. But if you're still not living your life, what you dream of in your heart, maybe you're blocking off some stuff. All right, guys, it's late. It's 12:41. I've probably been on here forever. I don't even know. I love you guys because we're all connected. This message was super important. And it's just to let you know that, you know, you have to think that retrograde things are going to go smooth for you. You have to think, you know, good stuff. You have to feel good stuff in your heart. You have to speak good stuff in your mouth. You have to love yourself. Good stuff. Loving yourself is good stuff. You know, take in criticism. Take in love. You know, a lot of people can't receive love, sure can't receive the criticism. I love you guys. I know it's crazy. Talking about energy, frequency, vibration is all super crazy. None of it really makes sense. But it does, though. You know, that's what I love about my coaching. Like, my friends, I have friends from high school, my coaching is super dope. But they're like, whoa, now all of a sudden you make a lot of sense. Everything makes sense. Everything I've been through makes sense. I'm like, I know. All it is self-love. All right, guys, I love you because we're all connected. Happy November 2019. 12:42 a.m. I love you guys. I love you. If you have any questions, if you want to let me know anything, if you want to talk about desires, I'm with it. I love it. I love to talk about self-love. You know, I know a lot of people get stuck in self-love. You have to tune into you for what's good for you to do. You know, you have to tune into your intuition for the things you need to try. You have to tune into yourself for where you need to relax, where you need to be still, where you need to go harder, where you need to try more, you know, whatever. I don't know. There's no mistakes, so you're all right. God is love. Love is everywhere. And sometimes, you know, we block out love because our hearts have been hurt. Forgive. Forget. Let go. Love yourself. Forgive you. Forgive them. Forgive whatever. Let it go. You know, ask your spirit guides to take it. Hey, this crazy girl tonight told me, you take my hurt. Please take my hurt. But then whenever you give your hurt, you have to really give it. You can't just like hold on to it. Like, okay, I'm going to give them some and then I'm just going to hold this little piece for me because I deserve it. Can't do that. All right, guys. I love you, love you, love you. If you like my music on here, check out listeningtosmile.com. Code Sarah Richardson 19 gets you 40% off of the tracks, I think. It's good. You know, if you ever heard about vibrational healing, if you guys see like the Hertz, the 528 that I talk about, that's all in the vibrations. And I love them. I use them for all my work. So if you like the vibes that I had behind me, then definitely go check it out. All right. I hope everybody has a good night. I got some fun stuff to do tomorrow, this weekend, my retreat. I'm sending everyone so much love. I hope everyone can feel into themselves and feel what their hearts desire, because it really feels good. I mean, it's a crazy process, but it feels good to be living in your heart's desires and be connected with your purpose, and, you know that when you're off, you're still okay. If you block up, you're fine. Energy is always moving. We're all connected. One love.